Hi virtual campers, my name's Kaelin and I'm a conservation educator with the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife. Welcome to your virtual camp experience. This is going to be the archery portion. Now before we get started, I'm going to talk a little bit about what you need to pass this portion of your virtual camp. So up first, make sure you have a copy of the identifying parts of the bow and arrow worksheet, and you'll also need some type of light rope or heavy string material. So it just needs to be at least 7 feet long. Before we make your string bow, let's talk about the parts of the bow that we shoot here at camp. Follow along with me on your identifying parts of the bow and arrow worksheet. We're going to start with number 1. So this, number 1, is the grip, moving down this way to the idler wheel. Next up is the bowstring. Now on the bowstring we have the nocking point. These other strings over here are called cables. Then we have the arrow rest. Next up is the cam. And finally, these are called the limbs. Next up is parts of the arrow. We're going to start down here at the nock. Next, all 3 of these together are called fletchings. You'll see that there is an odd one that's called the odd fletching. Next we have the shaft, and finally the point. Now before we talk more about the string bow, we're going to learn how to shoot using the 11 steps to archery success. Helping me demonstrate is my buddy DJ. Now DJ's ready to shoot using the 11 steps to archery success. So you'll see he's demonstrating the first step, which is stance. So he has his feet about shoulder width apart. Number 2 is nock. So he's going to pick up his arrow, bring it up and over the idler wheel. He's going to knock the arrow underneath the nocking point, which is on the bowstring. Next up is draw hand set. So that's going to be the hand that goes on the bowstring and pulls that string back. So for his draw hand set, first thing, he's going to use these 3 fingers. Now he needs to find his archer's groove. So basically that's on the back side of this first set of knuckles. It's that first wrinkle in these 3 fingers. That's your archer's groove. So he's going to place that right on his archer's groove on that bowstring underneath the arrow. Next up is bow hand set. So that's going to be the hand that goes on the bow, or on the grip. So for his bow hand set, he's going to kind of curl those fingers around the grip. Hold on, not too tight, but just kind of firmly. So that's number 4. Number 5 is pre-draw. So that's where DJ lifts his bow toward his target. Number 6 is draw. So that means he's going to use those fingers, draw that arrow back to his anchor, which is number 7. So for the anchor, basically that's going to be at the corner of his mouth. When he draws those 3 fingers back, this first finger is going to set right there in the corner of his mouth. That's his anchor. That's number 7. Number 8 is aim. So now he's going to look down his arrow. He is going to find his aiming point, and then he's ready for number 9, which is shot setup. So for the shot setup, DJ is going to be using these back muscles, and it's kind of like one fluid motion. When he starts engaging those muscles and drawing that string back, that's his shot setup. Now he's ready for number 10. So during that shot setup, he's going to release, which is again number 10. Great release. So after that, you'll see number 11 is follow through, which is this motion that he did when he brought that hand back to this shoulder here. That's your follow through. Again, number 11 is follow through, and then he's going to reflect on that shot. Let's make our string bow. Go ahead and grab your string-like material. Remember, it needs to be at least 7 feet long. You're going to find the center of that string, which you can see here in red. So I'm going to find the center, then I'm going to take my hand a couple inches below it, okay, forming a loop. Next, I'm going to go ahead and find my archer's groove. This is basically going to be our bowstring. So I'm going to find my archer's groove, set it on that bowstring, and I'm going to draw back to my anchor. All right, if you look down here, this is basically going to be my grip. So where I have my hand around this string, I'm going to go ahead and release, and where I have it pinched, I'm going to form a knot. So I'm going to tie that knot, This is the hardest part. Now this knot is kind of like my grip. So this is the part that goes into this bow hand. Let's start shooting using our new string bow. First step, stance. Number 2, nock. We can pretend to nock an arrow on this point. Number 3, draw hand set. 4, bow hand set. 5, pre-draw. 6, draw. 7, anchor. 8, aim. 9, shot setup. 10, release. 11, follow through and reflect. The last thing I would like to go over is exactly what you'll need to successfully complete the archery portion of your virtual camp. You will need to send us 2 things. First, a completed copy of the parts of the bow and arrow worksheet, and a picture of you with your string bow in full draw at your anchor.